see Renee has joined. Good evening, Renee Dingman. Thank you for joining. We have started the public speak out, and I think some of your colleagues, Audrey, Awilda, and Beatrice, are going to speak after you, but if you'd like to speak, you have the floor, and you have 3 minutes.
Okay, hi everybody. I am I live in 16 acres off on Boston Road and Parker Street. And our my concern is the fact that traffic on the streets is horrible. Cars just keep flying by. Every year there's some type of deadly accident, whether it be by pedestrian, bike, or cars. I live right near the North Branch part of Parker Street, and I drive a school bus. I drive down that street, and there's always a car that runs a red light every shot at that intersection. There used to be a cruiser there for the longest time. They took the cruisers away. The cars are going through automatically. Um, so I always know to pause and to wait before I take a turn off of North Branch going on to Parker Street, but some people don't, and sometimes it's really bad time for people to go by. Also, there's barely any crosswalks over here, so going from like Warner School to across the street, you have to cross at Boston Road and Parker Street. If not, then you have to go all the way down to where North Branch is in order to cross the street. And there's not really any crossing guards there anytime, especially when schools open. It is a concern of mine. I've been living here for about 15 years now, and there's more and more children in this area than there were before. So I just think that's really a big safety concern over here. And the buses trying to get out from the school at school time and the traffic, it's just really horrible. But the biggest thing is the speeding. Like last year, we had a bike accident right across the street. It it's really bad, and it's not safe for children or anybody to even cross. Even if we can get the speed bumps or something, that would help a lot. I've noticed that there's been a lot of flashing signs on both sides, and you guys have been creating the little narrower ways. I mean, yeah, I know it's a heavy flowed street, but something has to happen because between all the kids, people just speeding, and all the accidents, it's a deadly area. It's a deadly zone. I know it's the better part of the neighborhood, but this should still not be an excuse for the way it is.
Thank you.
And so we're here tonight to speak particularly about our concern regarding the high incidence of pedestrian accidents and pedestrian deaths in the city of Springfield. I'm not sure if you're familiar with a Walk Massachusetts report that came out looking at 2023. Sorry about that. And the city of Springfield ranked second to Boston. So we know we're 1/4 the size of Boston, but we ranked second to Boston in terms of number of pedestrian deaths in the city. So Springfield had 7, Boston had 8. But we know that there is no comparison when you look at our size. In addition, we had more fatal crashes, 19, to Boston, 16. So when you're looking at data like that, you can't help but pause and say, why? And as residents, our community advocates that have been affiliated with Wayfinders Community Advocates Program have for many years been talking about street light, crosswalks, lighting in our city. There's lots of variables that lead to these high incidents of pedestrian accidents. We call it an infrastructure justice campaign because you'll notice that most of these accidents are occurring in what's called environmental justice neighborhoods. Sorry about that.
It's not you, Beatrice. Thank you.
Okay. And basically an environmental justice neighborhood are neighborhoods of color. They're neighborhoods where there are lower income households. They're neighborhoods with higher incidence of poverty, higher incidence of blight. And so really we can't help but stand here to advocate for this to be addressed by the city. Okay, thank you. So we're standing here to ask for the city in particular to look more closely at what needs to be changed in order to address this. We get up and we're all up in arms when we talk about homicides in the city of Springfield. We've had more than 20 some odd homicides in the city of Springfield. We're talking that 7 people in 2023 lost their life trying to walk through a Springfield neighborhood. That's a big deal. Mm-hmm. And it's not something that we should dismiss. Oh, it's a DPW issue. No, it really isn't. It goes beyond that. It really, I think we're asking city councilors to really come together and advocate for changes that might include adding funding to look at public safety as an issue of concern versus it's just a DPW issue. I'm gonna speak personally regarding where I live. I live off Sumner Avenue. Where I live, the closest neighborhood park is Nathanville. My kids didn't play at Nathanville because I refused to let them cross Sumner Avenue. Mm-hmm. And the reason I refused to let them cross Sumner Avenue is there was no nearby crosswalk. The closest crosswalk was way too far. Roosevelt Avenue was the closest crosswalk. They'd have to walk up 4 or 5 blocks, cross, walk down 4 or 5 blocks, and then cross Allen Street, another major artery, where there's also no crosswalks, right near the entrance to Nathanville, if you're coming from the Allen Street side. What does that tell you when your kids can't even go to their closest neighborhood park over concern about walkability, about access? So that's one of the reasons we wanted to come tonight. We really wanted to lift this up. We really want City Council to hear our pleas as residents in the city who are paying taxes, who are funding, our ability to have great parks. We want to utilize them. And another thing I do want to say, though, you have listened in the past. So we have done walk audits in neighborhoods. I just want to point out Wilbraham Road, I'm sorry. There's a great little island that's being installed there for kids to access Adams Park. We need to think about doing more of that in the city, in other neighborhoods.
Thank you. We have some more time if you both would like to be heard.
Hello. I am here to talk about our streets in Oak Hill. We have a number of elementary schools, and we don't have well-defined crosswalks on Hancock, Walnut. I know that they installed the what was that? No, the runabout. The runabout did help a lot with the children crossing and going to school, but we need more. We need more signs, anything that can help. I would like to see us have some kind of control over the speed. Like, I work in Brookings Elementary, and after that, the runabout, that is like a mad freeway during the day, during the night, especially at night. So I would like to see some attention given to that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I used to live in the Six Corner area of Springfield, but now I moved. I live off of White Street on Manchester Terrace, and it seems like when you're trying to cross the street, it's like Indy 500, the cars speed up. And you have to step back onto the sidewalk to keep from being hit by cars. There are not enough crosswalks, stop signal buttons so people can stop. Then some people will try to speed up to cross before you get there. And if we have our children with us, our grandchildren, our elderly people, older than me rather, it seems like there's no consideration of love. You know, you almost have to run across the street when the stop signs do come on for you to walk. And I don't know about other people, but I'm not doing track to get across the street. It's too dangerous. It's too dangerous, and I'll probably fall in the middle of it. But we just need a little help from the city councilmen and women and anyone else who has any power to assist us with getting the care for crossing and ticketing the cars that are speeding, because even in the school zones, when it says 20 miles, they're going 40 and 50 miles an hour. If you're late going to work, you should have got up earlier. This has always been the problem in our neighborhoods of people of color, and I'm not saying it's everybody, but it's enough where people are being killed and injured trying to get across one side of the street to the other side of the street. You know, cars used to will stop for you. Everybody's in a hurry now. No one's stopping to assist you at getting across. And when I see people older than me trying to get across the street, I have stopped sometime in our vehicle to assist them with getting across, because when you stop, the car next to you and across from you are supposed to stop to assist them with getting across the street. They're not doing that anymore. So we need any assistance that you can give us, the crosswalks, the buttons, the flashing lights, whatever it is that's gonna get their attention, and tickets as well, if that's gonna be what it ends up being. Thank you for hearing us.
Thank you very much. Okay. No further speakers. You all set, Mr. Howard? Okay, running out of time. So that will end our public speak out. Counselors are encouraged to join the link for the 7 o'clock regular meeting. Thank you. Okay.